Hi, this is Kevin Deal from Upscale Audio, and today we're going to talk about the Technics SL-1300G. Oh my God, I'm so excited, and I can't stand this. You know why? Because I get to cover a company that is so influential, and Technics has just been doing it for so long with all of their engineering and manufacturing prowess. But I was wanted to break it down between the SL-1200 and the GR2 and the 1300 and tell you what the difference is about the 1210, 1310, make sense of all the crazy model numbers and where to spend your dollars, but that's going to be in a follow-up video. For the moment, I just want to talk about the 1300 and why it's so good and what cartridges you should consider for your system. And, you know, I gotta say something. Technics is a company that is very near and dear to my heart. Ever since I got into this business in the 70s, they're a division of Panasonic, a company that I feel is the best manufacturer in Japan across all categories. Whether it was plasma screens, I mean, they were making them for Pioneer Kuro after Pioneer stopped. I mean, reel-to-reels that they made, they have the ability to like throw 1,000 engineers at a problem and make sure that they fix it. And then they've always used impressive parts. Every Technics I've ever sold has got excellent parts in it. I mean, look at the SA-1000 receiver that they made back in 1978. It was 330 watts per channel, big deal. But the thing is, you got to look at what they put in it. It was the only receiver I know of that used a laddered resistor volume control, and then it had this power supply that was just absolutely bonkers for its time. Compare its weight to other receivers that were on the market. It was just different. Look at the SP10, their first broadcast quality direct drive turntable. They launched it back in 1970. Go learn about the history. I mean, Technics didn't rewrite the book on direct drive turntables. I mean, they wrote it in the first place. And so people call this an audiophile Technics simply because they got rid of the lights and the little dots and the speed controls and the other things that might be used professionally. I guess, I mean, but the thing is, all the Technics, all of them, are just fantastic performers. I often discuss power supplies, if you see my other videos, because they're the beginning and the end of making things work. They're the most expensive thing to engineer. They're the most expensive thing to build. And in 2023, Technics developed something called a Delta Sigma drive. And it's in this turntable. It's a 4th generation drive with a silent power supply. And the idea is it can suppress the very slightest rotational irregularities and minute vibrations by reducing the distortion of the signal driving the direct drive motor. And it enables just more stability and even higher sound quality, just clear and pristine top end. It has the newest design of their twin motor magnet coreless direct drive motor. The speed stability and the lack of noise from this table, if you listen to the 1300, it is something to behold. It has an adjustable torque setting, 3 different settings. Setting number 1 will make it sound a little bit more like a direct drive or like a belt drive turntable. Setting number 2 is in the center. Setting number 3 means, boom, we got that iron grip. Boom, we've got that precision. The bottom end, the drive that only a direct drive turntable can offer you. The platter is the same as the 1200G. It's aluminum. It's got, oh, I happen to have one. It's got a big, heavy brass weight screwed to it. And you want that to have inertia and that mass that you want to have. And then on the bottom, oh my gosh, they coated the bottom in a rubber compound. And the idea is to make sure that this can't ring. It's dead. It's absolutely inert. And also, because this is rubber here, I think there's going to be fewer possibilities of reflections with what's down below it. And finally, look at this. Each platter is dynamically balanced. The idea is this: stay out of the way while offering a strong foundation for your records. And it's the same thing with the plinth. It's not exactly as heavy as the 1200G, but it is damn good. It's a die-cast aluminum top, and then the bottom is made out of something called BMC. It feels good to the hand. It's got great heft. It's dead. It feels inert. And the feet are fully adjustable, and they have silicone insulators. The tone arm is where the rubber meets the road. It's an S-shaped tone arm. It's made out of aluminum, but it's got precision bearings that are all hand-tuned in Japan. It's not magnesium like the 1200G is, but the aluminum is fantastic. It has very, very low mass. And then both of them have an adjustable VTA, and they have multiple counterweights to work with a lot of different cartridges. But let me talk about adjusting VTA. The owner's manual is going to tell you what to do. It's going to tell you to adjust the rear up and down to make the tone arm level with the record that you're playing. And that's fine. That's what everybody says. But we don't exactly do it that way. We use that as a starting point. But what we do is we listen to the turntable, and then we fine-tune it by ear and by measurement, electronic measurement, while we are playing records. And we do all of this stuff and then pack it up and make it plug and play for you guys. I mean, just check the setup box, on our website if you buy a turntable. We are going to make sure upscale audio nerds are going to come to the rescue and make it perfect. Now, what about cartridges? The 1300 is more accepting to cartridges than I would have guessed, really. I mean, it'll work with just about anything. My team says that there's a handful of them, just a handful of cartridges that they typically don't like to suggest. But in this case, we installed a Hana Umami Blue, and that's absolutely appropriate. But any of the Hanas are going to be fantastic. If you put an Umami Red on this, a $4,000 cartridge, it's going to be incredible, and it is absolutely good enough to support a $4,000 cartridge. The SL-1300 is such a fantastic and stable performer that it will make any Hana shine. We're the #1 Hana dealer in the country because we love them and we think they're fantastic. That doesn't mean it's a good cartridge for you. There's many cases where a moving magnet cartridge or moving iron might be more appropriate. It has to be simpatico with how you live and how you use it, and with your phonostage. How much gain does your phonostage have? It may have 65 dB of gain, and you might think, oh, this is going to be great, but maybe not. What kind of loading does it have? What about the ability to change capacitance, if you're using moving magnet? And then what about the rest of your system, right? Cartridges are like speakers, but they're just operating in reverse. They take a mechanical movement and turn it into an electrical signal. One of the guys on our analog team actually worked for a cartridge manufacturer, and he helped to develop products. These dudes that work for me, I mean, they're really tweaks. They're freaks about this. They're absolutely crazy about analog, and we will guide you. So please reach out to us and let us build it for you. We'll make it fantastic. Because this is an investment, right? I mean, it's not something, you want to make sure it's done right. Once any turntable is in your home, you do not want to move it. I promise you that. But I bet I'll tell you this, I'll bet we get at least one phone call a week from somebody who bought a turntable somewhere else, and he wants us to help fix their mistakes, which is very difficult or even impossible. And if you buy some of these big rigs that we sell, some of the really super crazy stuff, we'll send our analog manager to your home. We'll fly him out. Same thing like we do when people buy big systems, and so look, let's get back to this. I love it. I love this table. I love Technics. Oh my God. And and I forgot to bring their amplifier over. I got to do something on that. So look, come to our beautiful 10,000 square foot store or give us a call at Upscale Audio. We're going to treat your system like it's ours. Thank you.